Thanks for your patience with that. Okay, time. Off you pop. Let's start in child's pose. So in the full moon time, we can be ungrounded, we can be unsettled, we can be anxious, whatever resonates with that. Let's start with a really grounding pose. So just be with care, holding your legs like this and settling your arms somewhere soft and comfortable. So watching the forehead, that's not really working. So please work with yourself. Find your breath. Be with your awareness, allowing the space, the busyness in the brain to quiet and settle. Try to get out any refinements and hold really still for 5 breaths. Feel the pressing of the ribs against the legs as you breathe in, or into that space between the legs. How your torso lifts and lowers with your breathing. As we're not holding back, we're breathing deeply. That's a big part of what this practice is. Notice the next in-breath. Let it go a little longer than you might normally go, and just observe how that can feel kind of strong, that pranic energy. And balance it with a slow exhale, allowing that to also be very long, and go into that exhale to the point where you want the breath to balance back out with the inhale. Let that wave move through you one more time. Ocean breathing, gentle sounds. Inhale, rise up and stretch your right leg straight back. Spread your hands open. And be with the power of that breathing time and that groundedness as a beginning. Awaken the muscles that wrap around your rib cage here with pressing hands. Know yourself. Are your elbows locked? Let them soften. Breathe out once more. Relax your thumbs, your forehead, whatever you can, and release to the other side. Tucking the toes, reaching back through the heel. Little plank pose work. Axial spine, so long and straight. Creating this pose with pushing energy into the earth. So don't just crash into your arms, but really use them to push. One more time, push, reach back. Soften and release. Cross your ankles. Use your hands around by your hips to lift gently over the feet and pop your way to your seat or in your own way. And settle into that. Don't move more than you need to. Practice contentment. If things end up okay, you don't have to change. Always staying away from pain, and be with the energy of sitting practice, hands resting together. Central channel of the body, the breath flowing through it, the spinal cord, long. Settling the eyes downward and centered. Notice where the breath goes. Next time you breathe, just let it go where it goes. Come together with sound and vibration. Bring your thumbs to your third eye center. Got your navel towards your spine a little to support those upward arms. And release. The seed sound for the third eye chakra is the Om sound, as is the crown at the top of the head. Just feel those areas stimulated by touch and vibration. And release out your feet. Let's do a little baby boat pose. Leaning back with your fingertips on the floor beside your legs, wherever they reach. Lean back, tall spine, and come up to the toes as well. 5 breaths. Axial extension, the lengthening straight, not back bend. Gaze down your nose, 1 more breath. And relax your hands and feet to the earth. Stretch out your legs and pick one of them up and do the ankle pumps as you practice leaning back or sitting upright. Look back, feels kind of nice. Supported. Other leg, lift, move your ankle joint. And lower. Please come around to your knees. And rise up, standing on your knees and feet. Ground your feet hip distance. Learn to press them into the earth. So you have the nuances of your toes upside down. Curious about that? And now let's some wrist love. Let's do some wrist pumps. Go slowly with these. Letting some energy flow freely through this complicated space, and miracles circle both ways. Let your fingers spread in relaxed way. All the while balancing on your knees. 1 more time. Maybe open, spread gently, like we do in star pose. Add the upward reach. Still breathing in, still breathing in. Breathing out, puppy pose. Toes optional. They can be tucked under. Elbows lifted a little bit, long spine, grounding. Feel that energy flowing in the wrists and the hands, so blood flow. 1 more time, breathe out. To come to our feet through the downward facing dog is one way, lifting the knees and stepping in, pressing. There's that pushing energy again. So reclined hands open. It's the heels of the hands that bear the weight here. Fingers spreading supports and relaxes. Arms strong and straight. Wrap your shoulders externally towards your heart. Head down. Lengthen your spine towards the sky. And then try to bring your weight into your legs. 5 breaths. Try to find the not holding back. Where are you? You're just warming up. If you're not just warming up, you're not. Where are you? 1 more time, breathe deeply. Trying to get that real push activation to strengthen your body using your own weight. Hips high coming forward. We've been practicing this one with that hiking up in the low belly pulls you to the balls of your feet. Step, step, step. Keep your hips as high as possible. When you can't go forward anymore, you're gonna let your heels come down, your knees bend. Flip your hands into the lunar forward fold. Soft knees. So really soothing forward fold. Chest resting on the legs. Let your head hang long. Trying to stretch the back body gently, including your head to the forehead. Flip your hands, breathe in and come to half lifting pose. Engage your navel towards your spine, lengthen straight through the top of your head. 3 to 5 breaths here, depending on the speed. So shoulders off the ears, open feet. This is a strengthening pose. There's another pushing energy here with the arms and the feet. Strong tummy. Breathe one more time. Relax, fold in, slide down. Let your spine lengthen that way. Inhale, standing up. Use your legs. Trace the body, including the central line, to the sky with your reaching. When you're ready to breathe out, bring your arms down. Settle your shoulders. And settle your feet into the earth, standing pose. Long neck, balanced skull. Draw your shoulders down strongly so you feel some stretching around your chest and neck. To that, let's add a little side with the head to the right. Stay calm and centered. Roll chin out to an angle. Just find a sweet spot. This does not have to be a big movement. Ease chin towards the chest. It can be a little unsettling to have your head off center. Calm and ground yourself, breathing deeply out. So try to angle your midway between your chest and your shoulder, somewhere like that. Ease back and side. And coming back to center, easy. Exhale, calm deeply. Arms up. Let's do some pulling exercise. We can build that in with the breath of fire practice, that reaching. Open hands, easy open arms, and then the exhale is the pulling and squeezing of the shoulder blades together and down. So 10 or 20 times, breathe with it. You can pump the breath if you like, or just breathe as you flow. Slow it down. Mindful, strong open, reach, strong pull, draw in. Hands together, Pranamasana, lift your elbows. Find Uddiyana Bandha, little tone in the low belly. Really, this practice teaches us to work from our center of gravity. Exhale, relax the arms. Sun honoring to the top section of your mat, please. Start with a classical sun salutation where you cross your thumbs and spread your fingers. So easy wide in the stance helps you come up and go back a little bit to standing back bend. So long, 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 long. Exhale a little bit back, gaze down your nose. And then inhale, pelvis underneath, head last, forward fold, go slowly in the other direction. We leave out the half lift and go right back to Anjaneyasana with the right leg stepping back to the low lunge. And we'll give ourselves 5 breaths to just move your shoulders, settle into the lunge. Stack your hands at your front leg and gaze down your nose. Just the right amount. Breathing out one more time, maybe lunging just a little more forward and down. Press your foot to feel complete. Hands to the earth, leg back, knees, chest and chin pose. Do your best. Reach on out there. Spin your hands outward. Your chin can come down. I'm still figuring this one out. Just try to reach for it. It's an awkward push-up-y kind of move. One more time. I need a lesson. Upward facing dog. Breathing in. Stay on your knees. Gaze down your nose. And pull back to puppy for a moment. Trying that knees, chest, and chin shape. I'm gonna work my legs back in forearm plank and come to the belly. And just try to figure out the chest and chin part with the arms for a few breaths. Toes tucked under, active legs. And then relax. Come to cobra. Pulling your hands into your chest. So there's some of that pulling energy. Because we are pressing the pelvis into the earth and lengthening the legs to lift. So the hands pulling in. Pull your belly off the ground, gaze down your nose. Feel the strength in your back. And release slowly. And back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to rock your hips side to side in this one, lengthening your sides. You can turn your face and head to look under each arm side to side as well. Follow an exhale to settle into center. And then stepping your right leg forward for this lunge on the second side. Try to settle your kneecap right where you need it to be. So kind of like to be on the top of the knee area in this one, because we have a little more space between to come forward with the knee instead of stacked upright. Arms lengths. While you hold steady in your foundation, bring the hands to stack upon the knee, grounding energy, feel that. And you can work on your lowness in the pose with that. Nasagra Drishti, gazing down the nose, down and centered, soft eyes. It's an internal focus as well, present with what is seen and unseen. Press into that foot strongly to release. Come to stand in forward fold. It's a process, give yourself time. I don't mean to rush you. As you stand, let your thumbs cross. Coming up, and when you're ready to breathe out, you can step your feet a little wide, gently go back, gaze down. That's prana right there. And then inhale up and center, step in your feet, pause, settle shoulders, classical, mostly on script. Surya Namaskara B, we work in the warriors. Bend your knees, reach your arms, one breath, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Extended. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, breathing in. Back to your plank of choice. Chaturanga if you are working on it. Upward facing dog. You may take an extra breath if you need it. Gaze down your nose. Flip your feet to downward dog. Exhale just once. Then we step right leg forward. Angle back heel and inhale up to warrior A. And since we got here, let's stay for 5 breaths, letting the elbows bend, head resting into the arms. Really find the foundation, gaze down. Left hip coming forward, right hip coming back. Knees centering. All these actions come together. One more deep breath. Let your elbows widen, open your heart. Release your arms, let them find the earth. Meet you in downward dog. So do your little dip, your cow, whatever shapes you want to flow through. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, stepping forward and rising to warrior A. Breathing freely as you find the shape. And then let's do the pull back. Kind of another pulling shape. Meeting with the heart, gaze down. Bring it all together. Just the right amount of effort. Stability. Deeply breathe once more. And then take a deep breath in, bring your hands to the earth, spin them outward, flow through to downward dog and hold. Elbows in, little push up, split feet, downward dog. You enjoy the toe lifting version, you may add that if you would like. Remember, you're pushing energy in your hands. You're pushing into your feet as well. You're pushing your legs back. And you're pulling your navel towards your spine. Okay, coming forward, inhale energy. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Coming up into Utkatasana. So bend your knees on your way up. Reach up your arms, gaze down your nose. Exhale, bring it all together. And stepping your right leg back to the high lunge position. Wherever your hands are supported, like do this little heel toe or just follow the foot. Yeah, there it is. Wiggle to settle into that. And do keep the knees centered. That is important. Heading right towards the middle toes. You should see your big toe when you look out. All right. Bend and straighten your legs a few times. Then take the opposite hand to the knee, right hand to the left leg, and the left arm behind, coming into a twist. And 5, release the rotation. Let's start to straighten and step forward to release. Lifting out your leg for 5. It's okay if your knee bends. And exhale, release. A sense of readiness for this rather challenging balance. The high lunge, step back. Got to focus, work your way in. Use both your feet, settle down into your shape. Exhale, grounding. Rotation, left hand to the right thigh, right hand to the left. Keep your knees centered, concentrate. Be with the quality of this pose. And when you release the breath, come back to center. Press your back foot, stepping out. Lean into your right leg a little bit and lift your left foot off the ground. 5 breaths. Like a string is helping float your leg up, gently reaching. One more time, breathe deeply. Very nice. Come on down. Step easy wide. Ground your hands on your thighs for a few long exhales. So in this retention of the breath, it can be helpful just to continue to breathe out really little bit at a time. And have that kind of energy. And what you don't want to strain your throat or your heart or your jaw. Just keep it all really soft and you're like, it's okay, it's okay, okay. And when your inhale's ready, you lengthen up. So I'll do it with you today. So deep breath in. Exhale, hands rest to the thighs, belly up. Just hold the breath a little bit out at a time. Letting go, letting go. Until it feels strongly apodic. So empty that the inhale impulse is strong and you come back up. Sorry, I was totally talking. I'm gonna do it one more time. If you want to just stand with that or do it again. letting go energy. Big open mouth exhale. Inhale. Hands. Get into the pranic center with the hands. Step your feet together. Stand gently tall. Energy holds, pranic center. Be with the quality of your energy in your mind. Enjoying your ocean breathing. And then we'll work our way to the Chandra Namaskar, the moon salutation for the moon day. Stepping to the right center of your mat with your feet about hip distance apart. Just in this receptive mood for a meditative circle of poses, the same ones. And so you just have an opportunity to get into your own flow with it if you know the sequence. Starts with a side bend. I know I add some flourishes sometimes though. Coming up with your arms, lift your back ribs, gaze up, a little soft, a little chill. Take it over to the right. Shoulders draw down. Feel your hands. Inhale slowly up to center, gaze up, reach up. And then soften that and then side bend. So it's not your most huge side bend, not your most challenging, maybe lightly challenging. Downward centered eyes. One more breath out. Inhale, center, add the big reach. Exhale, Utkatasana. Goddess pose. It has a similar name. Utkata Konasana, there it is, down the center, challenging lowness in the hips, and find that Utkatasana, upright spine. 5 breaths. Round your open feet to the earth. Knees heading right out towards the toes, not collapsing inward. Breathe out one more time. Press feet, glute squeeze, rise. Reach out your arms, swing out your heels, star pose. To the right side, triangle pose. Know this one. Turn your feet, reach up and down. Back off a little bit on the striving today. Just be with that invitation for a little more chill. I'm going to do the arm behind the waist if you'd like to do that internal shoulder. Keep your spine long. Breathe out again. I should have gone to the front of the mat first. Let's go ahead and come up and then turn to face that leg towards the back of your mat for Parsvottanasana. So standing upright, bring your arms behind, catch your elbows, and with an open heart, come into forward extension. Spread your feet upon the earth. Try to find balance in the weight in your feet. One more time. Move the breath. And come up. Release your arms, Anjaneyasana, back to that lunge on the ground that we did earlier. Let's bring it on into that softness. Just let the arms hang. And we can add to it the same side arm resting and the opposite on the other arm, doing that reach back to the ceiling's edge. One more time. Releasing that rotation and the lunge. Now, side lunge, we're going to turn back to the direction we started. With those toes heading towards the corner of the mat, use your arms to come to the side lunge, loading that right leg into a squat. Spine long, that's always important. One more time, breathe out. And a press and switch to the other side, angling out the toes and knees, long spine. Free flowing ocean breaths. Transition to Anjaneyasana towards the front of the mat, coming down to the low lunge. Finding your shape. Guiding the knee towards the toes. Same side arm resting on the front leg. And the reaching back. Gather the fingers. Eyes follow that reaching hand. Feel how everything is connected. Deeply breathe again. Nice mindful release. Now the standing up. Parsottanasana. Maybe do the knuckle press this time and bring your hands up your back. Forward fold. Focusing on the feet. Keeping them open. Inhale, rise. Triangle pose. Stretch your arms. Turn to the side with your back foot over and down when you're ready. Let it be a little softer. One more time. Down into your belly center. Press your feet, rise. Turn out the toes, goddess. Let's add the eagle arms or the shoulder hug with the right elbow coming underneath. Your choice, and you don't have to work on the depth this time in the legs unless you want to. Some attention to relaxing your mouth, your jaw, your lips, your tongue. Let's come to star pose in between sides. Let your legs relax open a little easy. Float down. Second side, left elbow. Little of both. And it's a mellow, fierce angle pose. Breathing out. Release up, heels out. Inhale energy. Exhale energy, arms down. Step, step, feet hip distance. And then a grounded side bend. Keep your left arm into your body. Slide it down your leg to a knee degree. And then if you want, you can bring your other arm, spin the thumb back to open the shoulder and come in the side bend. Not overdoing. Breathe out one more time. Belly strong, come up slowly. Bring your arm down. Slide the hand down the other leg to the degree it wants to go. Open shoulder, up and over. Mindful of long in the low back, so a little heaviness in your tailbone. Some firmness in your low belly. It's a pranic pose. It brings energy. Inhale, slowly come up. Release. And come to the top section of your mat once more. Chandra energy. Let's take it back to the nectar of the moon pose to continue that idea. So we'll let your knees bend, bring your hands down and bring your left leg back. Should have done the other one. Let's start by bringing the back knee down for a moment and coming up. So this is the one where we turn both sets of toes. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. Nope. Yeah, both sets of toes to the right. So that back foot spinning to the edge, arms on the inside. Gosh. Turning out the front foot. So we have, it's basically a side plank, but if we can, and I'm just going to do this for myself, bring that back knee down and release the foot. It's hard on my hip. So back leg up or down, you can add this swimming motion and also hip flowing motion. I'm glad I started on my hard side so I could help you all figure it out. So this is free movement in the hips and the shoulders. A little bit of plank work or a lot, depending on where you are. And let's just let that feel complete, pulling back to Hanuman's pose. Carefully release and fold forward towards that leg. Breathe out one more time. Release your knee, bring your leg back, and let's change sides. So, like lizard lunge, arms on the inside. I'm going to try to do this better on this side. Okay, so the back leg project, lift up your knee, look back there. Try to work to the side, plank position on the side of that foot, or decide if your knee needs to come down instead. And then the front foot turning out too. Maybe you can take an arm off the ground. So work with this side, free movement. The idea of being able to do some free flow. And just let that feel complete, transitioning the back leg to the knee and the front of the foot, and then back to Hanuman's pose, forward fold, calm energy. One more time, breathe slowly and deeply. Release your knee, bring your heel back. Let's come through and sit down. Settle into Sukhasana or lotus pose, whichever what are you working on with your seated pose, no force. Ground into your seat, and let's do some left channel breathing about 10 times. You may use your hand to close the right side, or just use your mind. And we'll do, so this takes about a minute. Welcome the yin quality, the cool and soothing quality. And then just see what happens to your nervous system. Rest your eyes and hands. Slow it down a few more rounds. Twice more. When that feels complete, breathe gently through both sides. Feeling free to add some neck movement if you would like. Just to work that central channel. Maybe interlace, lean back into the hands, open chest. And release that little seated back bend. You can do that at your desk, in the car, when your hands are not on the steering wheel. And from this place, stretch out your legs, please. Spin your hands out, and we'll do the front body opening, up heart lift pose. This is like fish pose with our little ocean thoughts today. Open throat, gaze down your nose. Maybe lift your hips, but don't have to. Just let your front body be noticed. Include your face and your forehead. One more breath. And the throat. Give space for the throat. Relax into Janu Shirsasana with the right leg coming back. And in, head out and down as you're ready. Forward fold. Nice and soft today. Not abiding any pain. Just take care of yourself. But if you know the poses, you may spend more time in them. Letting go of some of the structure that we normally bring in, a little more of a yin quality. Halfway lift, breathe in, breathe out. Walk your hands back. Marityasana B, we've been trying this one the last few times. So just bend your left leg to the foot and bring your Janu Shirsasana fold knee inside a little closer. So just consolidating the shape. Your right knee and hip are about in line with each other. And then your left hip and foot are about in line with each other. So here we come on the inside with both arms. Use your fingers, walk out as far as you can, tilt forward. This is as forward as you want to go, as far as you can go. Feeling free to refine your foot and leg position. Out to the side, feel free to stop at any point until your arm presses into your shin bone, long neck. And then if you want to carry on, dive your thumbs inwards. So you do an internal shoulder roll and a coming behind. Fingers curious about each other, do not need to connect. You can move your feet to help consolidate yourself. Let's try 5 breaths. Marityasana B. An aponic pose. Contractive, curling in. Breathe out one more time. Release your arms and come up. Let's let the legs go easy wide, just wherever you are for a moment. And maybe go side to side or hold a side stretch. You want to just flow gently side to side. Several more breaths to finish any practice you're doing. Just a little freedom of flow. And try the other side. So Janu Shirsasana. Knee out there, and the everyday pose. Working your way out and down. And rest into it. Know the places where you need to pay attention. Make sure nothing needs to be changed. And be as content as you can be with what is. Exhale. Halfway lift pose, inhale. Exhale. And release. Marityasana B. So bringing your left heel towards your right hip and your right foot in front of that hip as well. Inside. So you might just have to resettle your foundation a little bit to work into this. Let me know how it goes. Keep your foot on the ground, lengthen forward. Try that for a breath. Move your feet and knee your foundation as needed out to the side. Gives you that little push to go forward. There's a little leverage from this position. And then carry on curling down, maybe just letting the arms wrap internally and gently come behind you. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly come up as you breathe in, releasing these actions. Let's do the easy lean back, fingers back, and some windshield wipers with the hips just to move those joints a little bit. Lift your heart out of your shoulders, your chest. Baddha Konasana. This one can be done in that easy lean back as well. It's a nice moon touch. Gives you some space, and so you're not as closed in your pelvis. Just let your heels press together. You can press your hands to bring your pelvis forward if it feels good. Lift your chest, gaze down. And release. Come down to your back. Into knees to chest pose. Into figure 4, either side. Your foot can be down on the floor or lifted. Customize, know yourself in this one. Use your arms for loving support. Feel how your arms are connected to the earth and your legs are connected to the earth. Check in, make sure your head is centered and long in the spine. Breathe out one more time. And let's develop this into a twist to that side. So some of you might like the twisted roots where you cross your knees more and go over towards the right with that package of the legs. So feeling free to customize. You can keep the figure 4 coming over, sliding the bottom foot under and letting the top leg rest open. This can be confusing even when I'm in person. So it lets the front of the pelvis relax open. Just relax into that array of choice. Find something for your body. Iliacus, front bowl of the pelvis. Breathe out one more time. Work your way back to center with your body, one step at a time, all part of the process. Transition with your pelvis and resettle, low back long, grounded, centered. Figure 4 on the other side. So if you like to do that activating reach first, you may do it, or just come in where you're working with this side. Find a sweet place. Your body trusts you to do the right amount. So we grow by consistency and mindfulness. Just keep trying and allow growth to be gradual. There's a sutra about how sometimes our awakening is slow, and sometimes we have a flash of some understanding or clarity, and then it's a lot years of slow progress. So we just supposed to be open to the whatever speed and the process takes. And let's let that feel complete, considering twisted roots twist or this front pelvis opening, bringing the figure four to the side. I'm just stayed neutral on my back, letting your top leg rest open. So it's the knees going away from your belly gently. Settle that as best you can and be with it. Calmly observe. One more time, soften as much as you can, breathing out, relax the twist shape you're taking, and then take care with the releasing, not to jar your hips or your spine. And let's do lie down, stretched out pose, interlace press up addition. Maybe draw back on your toes and point them a few times. Let your belly and your hips all stretch back. Ease your hands behind your skull, elbows wide. Bring your elbows together, lift your skull. You're going to use your core muscles and your arms, just stretching your neck, a little tractioning of the skull away from the spine. And ease it on down. Legs, there's that straight legs lie down work coming in, making that easier. Slide your feet to bridge. Settle your skull and your sacrum. Elbows, arms by your sides, bend your elbows so the hands face each other. Lift into bridge pose. Doesn't have to be huge. Just come up. See if you can sense the energy from your hand on the other side of you. There's a lot of energy generated in the hands from the yoga practice. And just let that be. Bring your hands and your hips to the earth. Second one, bring your feet in a little closer, a little wider. Press up, try to get more height. One shoulder at a time underneath. Maybe interlace and reach away. Keep a little forward roll in your shoulders. Lift your chin gently towards the sky. 5 slow breaths. One more time, deeply breathe. Come on down. Release, 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 release. Left foot first. Happy baby pose. Let this be a little inversion and then rest. It's time. It's time to let this settle into our collagen, into our pranic body. Once you feel settled, you stretch out and rest. Refine only what needs to change. Sometimes the boniness of the sacrum can have sing a little song. Just make sure it's not too uncomfortable. If you need cushioning. You stimulate that area a lot in the practice. Rest into the waves of your breathing, observing the swell and the crest and the trough. Let your waves flow freely. Rising energy, falling energy. Slowly returning to your seated pose, giving yourself some time for this transition. Coming to sit in an easy way, just remembering to find that long energy of the spine, even when you're not practicing, to teach your body so you don't have to think about it as much. I hope you have a nice flow of energy. Let's ground the bottom two fingers with the thumbs, the Pran Mudra. This is our earth connecting gesture. One of them, roots activating. Just be curious about the sensation of that and the idea of that for this little meditation. Breathing in deeply. Thumbs to the third eye. Thank you for coming to practice with me. We hope you have a gently vibrant rest of your full moon day.
Thanks, Blossom.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Blossom.